Are you worried about your security? Are you able to access and protect your property and the people you care about? With an increased height in robbery and kidnapping, you should not compromise on your security. Global Sky Limited, your total security solution, is here to help you secure your office and residence.
Alright, my name is Mr. Lenas. I'm the General Manager of the company Global Sky Security Limited. Global Sky Security Limited, we are an international security company which we specialize in providing security services to various individuals or corporate organizations. When we talk of security systems, namely CCTV, access control device, electrical fence, tracking device, and security man guard officers as well.
The control room is designed in the way that we have radios, a VCR radio there, which monitors our vehicles when they go out for day and night patrols, just to receive first-hand information from supervisors and the team who go out for that patrol.
With the ICT part of the services that we're going to talk about, the CCTV security systems, the access control systems, tracking device systems, biometric door lock systems, and many more. So when we talk about the ICT part, that is the ICT part of the company. We specialize in what I've mentioned earlier. And when you talk about the physical aspect, that has to do with the professional man guard security services. These are professional guards we recruit. We do background check on them. We do profiling on them. We actually train them on two things: theory part and the physical part. Theory part for them to know how to work with people, human relations, and also when it comes to the physical part, how to defend them. To defend themselves in terms of a robbery or an attack. So, long story short, basically those are the two things as a company provide.
For more information, call 0302 522 503 or 0264 363 125. You can also visit www.
Mema wakwaba e de ba Ghana is watching dwumadie so. Ghana is watching dwumadie shronko kra Marvelin House ya hyehyɛ ne de ba be somo asomo sompa. Ewo dwumadie so ye hwɛ nea ekoyie ene nea enkoyie ewo oman yi mu. Ne ya boaboa ne nyina no apɛ ano pomasibre. Wo dwumadie so ye be hwɛ ye kwan so ensem aso wo kwan so nsem mpo etesen senia ehyenkafo etwi wana hyem basabasa ewo oman yi mu ye besan so ahwe senia yen ahonidie nsem tie ewo wompotem ho se na ahonidie nsem etie ewo ho unim se enkese de biara da yen ahonidie eda nanso sen na etie ewo oman yi mu wompotem ho no mu no ahonidie ho nsem no aso eye hwan asede se obehwe amana akoyie ye besan so ahwe yen bambo nsem se na ye bambo nsem etie ewo oman yi mu nipa bonfo adọọso ama krono ama ne homne so ewo oman yi mu aso ekwan ben so na ye fa esi ano kwan ye nam abefo kwan so anase ye nam kane kwan so na ye de ba besi ano kwan meto me safre wona wonim de efa ne amakeke nyina ho ne yatena se apensen insemu ape ano pomasibre. Ghana is watching. Ghana ehwe.
Ebusia for your sama akwa baby I'm morning break jumedi na just a newspaper review section no and na yedru so na and 29 June 2020 ya she na watch for kra ase botai be na de si weni so ai botai no ese utumi ejina utumi si pimp e botai na udi si weni so na ha se ne be na watch ni be kwa wiye no na utumi se the audit see when you so no where to me achieve Global Sky Security Lenance Homes Construction Company and also ya seen ready to medi bro na send anopa bia no the mindset of the wise ya sha se no there na wosu afim wo betu me the comment no aba e wo Facebook MATV na Facebook they aka na Instagram Twitter and YouTube na MATV okoya obenya bi ahwe wo ho nti anope na ansa na ebekọ nsem ni mu no the mindset of the wise na na ya Kessewaa ni Agyeiwaa yesinkunya edjumede ebro shonko so kra aba akwa aba na anope
Josonia.
ahwefo se na nsa ya ukọ holidays dodo
Men den nsem na ne so saade na hoso e wadi bi enye sa na se pa ho de na kire se
na enchem so me so mekọ bi mekọ holiday ni bi
sa pepe na sa da na ukọ bi
mekọ bi ya me ba ya na ma fefe me aka me
enejo ya fa ahye na wotwefo kra ase jumbo sumi ni mu na ye woni da etoso aduonu nkra wa afimfinu eni aduonu anopa mi ginse be bia wo bia bokọ afe no ya pai mu anesa osumi nsia no na etwa akoguo no gidi se de awoye wa brabom bia no ugusu se ne ebeye na bibia ebekọ nkan de ama okama ene the mindset of the wise no for no eno so na yegusu ejina no the mindset of the wise he understands that most people believe in the gospel of Jesus and prepare their journey towards eternal life but does not work with his principles to do well on earth. So even though they are children of God, they are poor. Remember, the burning heart desire of God is for his children to do well, according to Isaiah chapter 1 verse 17, which says, learn to do well. Good morning. Nana ya
aba
ensem no yen kan quotation na ewom no Isaiah nwoma litiba ko chichemu don so nti bosute wo brofu mu fama ahefo
yeah call trokunkun they say Isaiah 1 verse 17 and learn to do right, see that justice is done, help those who are oppressed, give orphans their rights and defend widows. And no newo ho Isaiah 1 verse 17 no
nti Isaiah nwoma na litiba ko chichemu don so no say munsua papaye monhwehwe atentenene montenetene omimfo munnima ebisia na monfre nje ekunafo bohye atenetene nti na no atenetene na ho nsem na anopa echese yede esomwo na yehwa o say he understands that most people believe in the gospel of Jesus and prepare their journey towards eternal life. Bebre na hwa atemu obi wo honum de ma ya atemu obi wo ho de ma nti no a na omoye den omani eda so na so ye hwe onyame ne principles ne hyehye na wontumi fa wani enhwe wo so ahimem wo brand ne hyehye no wundi so oso amem ne de da wo ma na so anopa mi bisa o se aso onyame hyehye no wudi so na kwan no wonam so nia nam so wo ba ko pie wo so ahemem no wudi so abrabo pen na wo bo tibia pen na wo mu ena no pen uhu ekunafo a san na wo ne wondi ewisia mobro wa no san na wo ne didi kan hu se trosam crack my tete say ebra ekomode me no wa ma me aduane ani ebra me dadagya no wa ma me ntema enfra ebra me pe baabi ada na o ma me baabi dan kan hu se wanya ama wunia no wanya ama onu otwe di amponyankopon ne nti abrebia no yendi ne hyehye ne so si ye pese yonko so ahime ma yentumi ka se ye beko so ahime fi se nyame na nka so yodo odoyen e wo bra ne hyehye no yendi so nana ya
aje on se eya nkofo bebre na aka se nyame som de akoma mu na ewo na nye se ni so nti de obeye no fa ho say ne wa sorry na ne wa kenkan ne Bible ne mesum nyame enso no nyamesom no enye say yakotena sorry dem o ne a wo beye na kire say wo ye Kristoni Kristoni na eda wo so say ye kaso bi ye Kristoni enye say ye de ano Canada na nso ne bi a wo dan edi no kire say ampa Kristo kan ho uti Kristo mu ansa na afro Kristoni nti bibi a beye no ye ndi Nyankopon ne hyehye so na ye mfa nto ye ho so keke say ye Kristofo na no ene beboa na osro ahime na ye
de bia me de misi asoro dem o nyame me somo ade na me nko ade nyema ka ekira ma mo abrabom ade na me nko ade metare a na awan me pem ko manim a enyeyi ebusian mu obia eyeyi obia konkan na so me nko ade awade ade na babia misia na misi wo bekoso a wo ahwe ye wo bekoso asi wo sa ifisi nyame hyehye no wudi so ana wudi so emre be na wo de ye wo nyema ebia ebra Nyankopon de ato ama wo se ni hyehye mu sa brewe fa ye adwuma no sa bre no wo fa enye adwuma wo ye nyame ba na so no wo ahwe ye a eyie na esese wudi no wo ntumi endi ye nti enkoso a na abibia nyame hyehye no ye ndi so ye ndodododo ye ho se nea ese efata
na say the mindset of the wise no ene de ye de bre ahwefo no eno no ye to ye hofo de a na ye nhwe nsem foforo mu e wo dwumadie so na de ekoso no ye the hot news platform anta na de bia meka no MATV ayate WhatsApp platform papa je say ensem a twagu enya asem kweto no na ewo hot news platform ye so na de de sha ase ye manpanyin dada or see military deployment don't make life worse for border town dwellers eno ye manpanyin dada Rawlings no eno no say former President Jerry John Rawlings has appealed to the government to not make life worse for dwellers of border town through its deployment of members of the Ghana Armed Forces inside towns, even as the country battles to contain the novel coronavirus diseases, charging the government to exhibit a sense of fairness and justice to all individuals and group of people ahead of the voter registration exercise.
nti we mampani de da Rawlings na wo kasa o he ya wo kire se ekopiem wa hye so na ha se ne ya tutu mu a kire se ye de asrafo ne ade akwa akugo so mo mbo adwuma ye pe se COVID-19 bre mu de ya hwe ye na amanfo nam kwati kwa so ba be bowra mu emu de a amanfo emebo nwra mu korompo se ne a yare esifa hre no kire se entwa ye kura ne senti no wona wo wa hye so so se ye ba be new voters registration ti ho no masem ne so be ya nka aban enhwe na chese pepepe ye ne tene bibia enkos no na etwa se bo mo ba betrum di no bo mo ba betrum di wo bra new voters registration ye sha ase
Agyeiwaa in sansem me we abai na me kind news we just obi a che na dwen wo ho se adenti na borders na military fo gu odada na masa mankofo akogu na chese omo wo ho no mu nsuru ana ase de
oh enye se ni suro na emum no ye bambo na eho nsem so
yet also won some media say President Akufo-Addo to speak on voters registration register compilation today. The president Nana Danko Akufo-Addo is expected to later today, June 29, 2020, speak to the nation ahead of the commencement of the compilation of new voters register. The director of communication at the presidency, Eugene Ahi, in a Facebook post said the time for the address will be communicated later.
Antiwe Ghana mampani na nadoda kwa Akufo-Addo esan se nsem koko pie court na ya battle commission idi ntwetwe na ekopie mu court na so sesi ade akwanya na ba sese obia ekotwro ni de nyame adoma Jumbusumi ne da etoto aduasa ye oche na pepepe na chese sha ase ni se nti Ghana mampani na nadoda kwa Akufo-Addo ene eba bedin komo chese ni bidi ehye me ne de ya na so na emre no enya emeto abonte na so mampani ene eba be kasa afa edin trotro ne ho I try to say wa wanya emfie du wotwe wadwumudo bibia ekoboko ema no nso wo akwanya se wo ba akotwro wudi na nso wakire wadwen apa woni ya wo pese odi oman so.
Yeah, concern from our hot news platform that say the new Patriotic Party parliamentary candidate for Bebiani Bekwa in the Western North region, Mr. Alfred Obin Boateng, has promised to retain the seat for the party and also increase vote of the party's presidential candidate. Nana Danko Akufo-Addo comes at December 7th general election. The former bulk oil storage and transportation chief justice officer defeated the incumbent member of parliament who doubles as the Western North Regional Minister, Mr. Kessewaa Agyeiwaa, in the just ended MPP parliamentary primaries. Mr. Alfred Watson pulled 580 votes as the highest, as against his contender incumbent MP for the who had won 188 votes with 17 absentee delegates. Speaking to journalists, the former CEO of BOST called for unity among the delegates ahead of December 7 polls, while thanking the entire delegates and party members for their unflinching support.
Right, naturally say we uko ekopiem ewo bibia ne anwea so bekwa ya honom Western North Mantem honom owura Alfred Watson awo no na wogire mu se mrahye bedwani ewo honom na ne ana ote egua so no eye owura Kingsley Agyeiwaa no na ote egua so akere se wo mu eyi ne bo honom na ne wode nsama tudwa wo kire se wode obi bia ase delegate no so wo mo so wo munya ne mugide ne waba betre egua so wo ho se emrahye bedwe nemom no wahye se obia emmɔ ne ho mɔde na afempinu ene aduonu abato no Ghana mampani na adodan kwakufu ado enkosoa entena egua ne so na ne nyuma pa wo bo no kire se wonto aso
Yeah, the same na kogu ewo hot news platform a MATV yate ewo WhatsApp na chese same a edi ehim no ebi eno no ye kwa ye de obokrata mu dia na chese daily graphic the Ghanaian time na face daily guide no same na ha ye bebo so amamo na ye share daily graphic front page no see president extends incentive package for health workers and they won't pay income tax for next 3 months and also one Anas exposes COVID-19 scam. And also acclamation of MPP flag bearer Akufo-Addo ticket for election 2020. After the Electoral Commission 2020 voters registration exercise movement plan phase 1 na our front page of the daily graphic. Now you share the Ghanaian Times so see president rallies all to register to vote in 2020 election. Heavy military presence in Ketu South to enforce border closure. VL Regional Minister explains Nina Ewaha. Minority MPs demand withdrawal of military deployment to Ghana Togo border town. And Munsem so Ewaha. Wearing a mask, Ghanaian Times say Nyamoka Munsem say Omo baby Ewa front page watch say Omo de church the why ever share nose mask any adeno. Then the Omo de buy no don't reach under mask. I share mask na my fire nsa and she shame na ye pia na ade ani etiti ya ho ha ya no ho na ya ne ade no o se ma ye nyesa na afin so se don't touch front of mask o sha emfa o sa enso so mask ni mu ba na se bia na ora kofi wantumi anko ho nsa wantumi an sanitize o nsa na no na coronavirus na tena na etne na afin so dey try to no se don't remove mask to cough, sneeze on or talk se ne enu ti na ye share mask no se ye cover say bia obi wo bi kra na so kasa se ni to si okra enkogu obi ho nti na ye hye max nti eba ne se obebo wa se obehint na se obekasa e ma ye nyi max no emfre ya no ayene the Ghanaian Times e di aba don't no so eno no na ye hye daily guide front page no so a o say MPP ready for 2020 election Anabaomia Jabs Mahama and the daily guide for more headlines in the agrokra and also ewa hana so president opens to home overpass nina ewa hiding December say I will help Nana get re-elected and also you share near our cancer say NDC chairman threatens you has VC in the nina December EC registration centers pull out see inside pages then also daily guide you just say in person so na wo no ne nyina wo ho be bia obesumi akoye registration no ne nyina e wo daily guide mu nti no so the daily guide no e dey aba no ye share nsem na se dia ye the daily graphic e na e share ase front page no e na nsem ne share ase na afin so atoa so e wo page 3. We see the president Nana Akufo-Addo has officially become the flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party (NPP) for December 7th election after the National Council of the party gave him an overwhelming endorsement last Saturday. In a similar fashion at the same special council meeting, members of the council gave the green light to Vice President Dr. Bawumia to be the running mate after President Nana Akufo-Addo had nominated and presented him as his running mate for the 4th time. This marks yet another Akufo-Addo ticket as the NPP gears up for this year's presidential and parliamentary elections.
na kyerɛ daily graphic wakrata no eno na yɛde ɛhyɛ aseɛ ɛde ama mu na yɛhwɛ the front page na Ghana mampanin na Adodankwa Ekufuado na wɔne na bedi akyire baomia na kyerɛ mumfoni ɛda ha sɛ yɛde ɔhwɛ white ya kama kyerɛ sɛ naano meminde ɛna dwumadie ɛkɔɔ so a Ghana mampanin na Adodankwa Ekufuado yi ni kyerɛ sɛ wɔno ɛna wɔgyina mu ɛde ama NPP amanyɔkuo na ɛwɔ afimpinu ɛne aduonu abato na kyerɛ sɛ wobia ɛne no ɛmpre ho kora na dwumadie n'ase no owura Samuel Tete deputy commission of the electoral commission wɔno ɛna opagya Ghana mampanin ɛnsa kyerɛ sɛ wɔdan ne di ɛde kyerɛ wɔ manfuo nyina san so ɛna owura Baomia wɔno so mampanin John mampanin na Adodankwa Ekufuado eyi ni kyerɛ ya kyerɛ bibia ɛkɔ kama ɛwɔ hɔ no
na kyerɛ Nana Baomia 2020 election na no nsɛm a ebepie na no ɛwɔ tinto afɔ na ba ne de Baomia bɛka bia na ne ɔmɔtwa no mu de atum kyerɛ ne nsɛm no ɔmu breaki ne down wa ankasa to mu sɛ na ni agye papa sɛ yɛ mampanyin no eyi na as vice president for the fourth time and also ɛwɔ hɔ yɛhwɛ page 5 of the Daily Graphic Malawi swears in Lazarus Chukwuwa as president. Lazarus Chukwuwa has been sworn in as president of Malawi after winning an election rerun. Time has come for us to wake up and to make our dreams come true, Mr. Chukwuwa said in his victory speech. He defeated incumbent Peter Mutharika with 58.57% of the vote in Tuesday's polls. In February, Malawi's Constitutional Court annulled Mr. Mutharika's victory to the May 2019 election, citing vote tampering. The announcement led to some to celebrate, but Mr. Mutharika described it as a serious subversion of justice, which marked the death of country's democracy. And also, ewo page 5 of Daily Graphic.
And the Kuwakrata, ni fa etosu enum, na yede to aso ede amona kopiem ewo Malawi anachese wo mabato ho nsem no akwakoye nsem bebra chese de ote egwa nso kra ne ade no enam so mabato no foforo ekoso na kopiem honom de a Lazarus hono na chese o mapaw ne se mampani ewo honom na bra wogina ye chese enye ono nkwa na wogina wone Mutharika na chese ekogina ya wo moto omoso abana so bibia ba wie na kyerɛ sɛ wadi nkunim eno no ɔde ɔhankyemu aduonum wɔtwe akyiripɔ aduonum enso kyerɛ sɛ 58.57% na kyerɛ sɛ wɔde adi nkunim ɛwɔ abato a ɛkɔɔ so na ano ya wada no
ene onko Ghana de anka obehu ne sɛ ɔto ye di nkunim ye di kɔ ye bɛsena bibi Yenso ansem no so ewa page 5 for the incredible recovery of Ethiopian man aged over 100. The recovery from coronavirus of an Ethiopian man who is believed to be at least 100 years old was incredible, one of the doctors who treated him told the BBC. Abba Hitalun family says he is 114, which would make him the world's oldest man, but there is no birth certificate to confirm his age. People over the age of 80 are considered to be among the most vulnerable if they catch the virus. The Catherian, who is an Ethiopian Orthodox Christian monk, is now being looked after at home by his grandson.
Just we dey eswenyi right any feto sunu ne hwa na yegusu gina na coronavirus e man hu ne sukopiem e wo Ethiopia dey akyerese won so we di ahi e kan papa ba na hwe ni fie bi o mo kyerem bi won se won na wanyi no ya no mbe set ni dey kyire kwa ware ye papa na o mo ye hwemu ana ne ho ato na nsa na mo kyere dey ye hwemu anka wanyi mfie ye oha ni dunan na so esan se ne birth set ho asem akoibi o ne senti no mafan se wo buru mfie oha ne sa na no nka covid-19 de kyere o na so wanya mfie de wo ekode enchese wonkwa eti awasasi so na so a doctor for na bom humodin papa wanya ayarha sesi ano wo akopie mo fie a ebusuafo ehwese ne beye na ne mpom na bibia ebekoso kama de amano.
Yet also won nsem Daily Graphic there na page 7 so na the editorial says Supreme Court assets independence of EC and also the Supreme Court has brought finality to the disagreement and rancor that characterized the decision of Electoral Commission to compile a new electoral rule and also settle on the Ghana card and the Ghanaian passport as the source document for the registration. In an unanimous decision, a 7-member panel of the Apex Court upheld CI 126, the constitutional instrument regulating the registration exercise, and dismissed 2 suits that were urging the court to order the EC to include an existing voter ID and the birth certificate as part of the identification documents to Ghanaian, were also a civic duty to Mother Ghana to ensure that at the end of the exercise, the country multi-party democracy is further deepened. The global attention is on Ghana. We must make ourselves proud and prove to the world that our democracy has come of age as we prepare towards the general election in December 7th this year.
And their graphic wakata and also and I gusu ejane fa etoso inso no semufo no na adwempo ibpm ewo krate mo efa abato commission new voters registration mam je mensa ne penifo pese wo mo nhya asenya me adoma wo kina na hu nsem ekoyi deja e ma nsem ye kokopie mu ewo court na so bibia eba wie na chese constitutional instrument no CI 126 no eno na wo mu di djuma se ne ebeye na wo bia eba akotro ni din kama eno no semfo ya kire se ebeboa pa eba nse ka bi ma menke bia mamre na amemu na ebeboa ma bibia akosoto ote ni senti no nyina fa ahokeka enko trade ni eni hihye bi a egu akwan mu so ne ama ye de aboa ye ho de ama afempinu eni eduonu abato se ne ebeye na bibia ebekosoto ote ewo honomo ntina chese wo semufo no ne dia wode eba ye ne di ntro ne de ye den ya enya abamu a ye beko akotro na enu aso ukopiem ewo mempotem hono ma beka hono ma mrahye bedwani a wo hono no one ne penimfo eba ne mantem hofo eba ebenya nkita ode na ode tujo omo kire se eba nse wo voters ID card da na nka se o medium wo bi enti menko enkotre na o kirem se se ye shedi ntro na se no nsi enya gba ka hu se dia wo na voters ID card da na a expert se won't me fendi jumebi enti enyina yefa onkeka enko na yenkonko tru yi ni se ne be na afimpinu ni eduonu abato ne so ye betimi a kire ye bobre wo ho
Agyeiwaa na de enyum ba abama no de isinsam ye kan ye to enyum se abamu awie o abamu awie o abamu awie nya weche isinsam na abamu awie isinsam a ya kan ho asem be ye ebosomi ni ne afei de registration no ha enya abaso je se ye ochina 30th June no na
ye sha ye be san akoko to ye mu
ye be san akoko 15 say ye sha ase wi na fe ye san akoko na minim say ye sha ase na afi de ye ka say ye ntwa so ye nya biemu de ana eno mu nsem no so ne minim page 9 so na ye do so say encourage public to wear nose masks or say the issue about people wearing face or nose masks and its enforcement by security personnel has resulted in a number of confrontation clashes and even death of a number of people. People have attributed this to the confusion and uncertainty around the directive for wearing masks at the beginning, where countries were taking different decisions. It will be recalled that the World Health Organization, WHO, in the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, there was not enough evidence to say that healthy people should wear masks. The WHO has recently changed its advice on face masks, saying they should be worn in public where social distancing was not possible to serve as a barrier for potentially infectious droplets.
Nti we ho man mu na apomudin ku a kire se wo ho no World Health Organization one day nsema to jo mo kire se ofuto se mom bitu nya adwan se yenhye amanfo nkura ntimamufo eba ne nose mask e wom se bebre na po ngi ndi se COVID-19 yare bi wo ho no e de wotena ehyen ahodo no ma hu nsema kwakoye deja no omanga na akra de se ye twaboa to ho no ma ye chiro na se wonhya posifo wom de obefa mra kwanso wo ba kotra ba kokuma na se ubetu esika twire oti an ye kra de ubetu esika na san kwa kotre aban kukum na no na kra te de aba wo kire se do bi chufo kire de ye hya amanfo nkran obi nji ndi krempo abra ni enya nkitahudie ni ade na ebetinya hye onu nso nkram na hu se bante no smas na wo hya wono so ebeboa na mana bɔ ne ho ban efikodie wo yare ehu
na ene ka ofu hu ne se me ene ka mefo kye so obi a hye ni no so obi enu a
ehyen a mefo ye nde tete wo obi a hye bi driver ni kram ye nam si o minto sa disposable material ton the 5 cd menje baako na menhye nka ho na no na oyi ama me oyi bi ayapa me bi nam si o mepe back now ha driver needs oh farmer men say what you go double mo say e boa because ya re na wo ho
this anya ya re no ka sisi ya o show o be share aha sisi ya o share ntino obi any option say ne me sha me ntumi home ye say adaka mu ene max de ehi na ope
she e be ya na me say o me pe back plus o me ti je mama no je no na me say
sisi ya share obi aso because obi share not so to care ma udru baby e na ebesi mu nyina
I won't show you the cockatoo passenger needs
on shape and say leadership there they are saying you can it's always by example hey into there will be there one obi so ebe so pay 13 so na you was set up juvenile court in northern sector. The northern regional director for the Department of Children, Mr. Idris Sunday, has appealed for a juvenile court and cells to serve the northern regions of the country that he said will enable children to be dealt with not an adult when they come into conflict with the law. He also appealed for a domestic violence and victim support unit (DOVSU) at the various police stations at the district level in the northern region to help dispense justice and protect children from abuse. Mr. Sunday made the appeal at a forum held in Temane last Tuesday to commemorate this year's Day of the African Child.
And we uko PM e watemala northern region na ba ne se mo fra ye yo ma yaka de chese eh e de abofra ketuwa kra ubonsa ne ye de ne ekọ akoma aware asanse ni ko akrata wo na bibia wo mu ka ho asema wo hwe a eye mu afra ti abayo kuma ne ye de ne koma aware ye yo ma yaka de ne ade a eno na akrata e be o chese wo mu beye niema mde niema etutu akwam se ne beye na wo mo beye sa niema we nyina ye de o beye de e be fa emra kwanso nti we epiem wo krata ne fa etosu du miensa
na Agyeiwaa hwe page 17 ho abi ko ho na hwe na ye man panyi dada kofo na chese face shield ye ye me fe pa face shield na ye fe pa na chese o hwe mask na o to me hwe ne kama
ye hwe ne fa na etosu du nsia na eja ye mora man panyi dada kofo so nsem nimu
yeah, page 16 one to also our daily graph. The president extends incentive package for health workers. The president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has extended the tax holiday provided for health workers in the country for another 3 months. This means that all health workers will pay no income taxes for the next 3 months. That is July, August, and September. The president said in his 30th update on the country's enhanced response to the coronavirus pandemic last night. President Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo added that all frontline health workers, as defined by the Ministry of Health, will continue to receive the additional allowance of 50% of their basic salary per month for July, August, and September. The president first announced the incentive package for health workers in its field update to the nation on Sunday, April 5, 2020, and thank you package for all health workers for the months of April, May, and June.
Nti we krata ni fa etosu dunsia daily graphic wa krata no mu a ena migusi eja na ahwe krata mu dia anga na mampani na na Akufo-Addo no ra chese wa we ama ne ntwa we bo yesusu na eta ni sua abc aha wa we am ne African Prince kama chese woda ha se na enra mampani ene enya kita wo de se ne abibia wo ye no wo bra COVID-19 yare eman no si na we ye tosu du miesa na course na Ghana mampani na na Akufo-Addo chirem dia COVID-19 yare no pema na pem ekone naso ye hwe apomdia so ya ye nnuano ma doctor fo ne nurse fo no wo mo bo adwuma papa ne sentin ye tabo ye tax atese ye anka wo mutua no eno income tax na ye mutua no ye na wotwe bosome miensa edi anim ne de enya de achete bo mu be ombetua na se ye bete efi o market yum chese se ne o mo bo adwuma no eboa pa ise o mo so wo mo de o mo nkwa ato ho e de amaye e de kweti COVID-19 yare sanso e no to as stigmatization chese e koso e de obi enya yare bi ubetopi otakra mento ma oni ade de ntwaye nti nyina yehu ye ho se ye ba ko na bibia enkoso kama
na Agyeiwaa se na mampanyi kan ne se health workers no omo bo adwuma papa omo aboaye e wo COVID-19 bem na wo hu GTP ntoma na omaye no
COVID-19 to mano
da bi enye no na fellow Ghanaians na omaye COVID-19 na fellow Ghanaians
enra da wo hu ebra ntoma ne be pie mu abefte dey so obi e konsem no me hwe pages ti bi obi say e de mampani ki eni ebenyan kita de to so du miensa na de to so du na ya eno ane to ma mampani e be she de fellow Ghanaians say mampani ne spectacle say ya obi just who say o ma draw
omo de bibi bo ma himu ankasa Yantasu one 70 their page 17 Sunday. It was the former president John Ejikun Kufuor has lauded the achievements of the president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the vice president Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in their first term in office. The successes, he said, has been reinforced by the telepathic relationship between the two gentlemen and therefore urged Ghanaians not to allow pettiness to divert their focus from the vision and the cause that was being charted by the current administration. Speaking at the extraordinary meeting of the National Council of the New Patriotic Party in Accra last Saturday, the former president said the current leadership did not talk but rather did the work. He said it was very difficult for the political leaders to combine such vision and articulation as president and his vice has done, and added that their partnership was appreciated by both the grassroots and those in higher authority.
Ntiwe mampani deda Kufuor John Ejikun Kufuor wono ena ne mfoni da ye papa wabo adwuma papa wo hese ni a na pomudin mu nsem ne ade nyina wokọ ekopie mu adwumadi na senche se ye manimu na adwumadi na sene bra tese ye pa Ghana mampani na Dankwa Akufo-Addo se wono ena wo giram de ama NPP amanyokuo ne wa afimpinu ene adunu abatuom no eno ase ena mampani dida John Ejikun Kufuor kasa no den sem etudwa na o says nana hu apia wabo adwuma tese wo bo one Bawumia abaso se adwuma de wo mabu pi papa yese wanya hwe anda wase ase a emmo ne kro no na we de wanya bibi de dana papa pa chede a wo mabu adwuma yi a tese esu ani ti no wo ma yade yesu ye tani nyina ye hunu no obusu a ebo adwuma
na Agyeiwaa de odiba ase ho no se omo ankasa keke o omo ankasa kese omo de omo kan se omo de ba bayem o se ono kale na odwi se o de ye mampanyi kan na kese edoso a bebre na kwana so no ohwa mo abo adwuma papa na kese eno so ye mampanyi dada Kufuor de odiba ye wo page 17 na ye hwe page 17 ase wo say I'm ready to serve, Vice President assures. The Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has expressed his profound appreciation to the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, for choosing him for the fourth time as his running mate for the forthcoming election December, saying he's ready and prepared to serve. He said his nomination was historic because it had never happened in the history of the country that a presidential candidate will select the same running mate for times in a row. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said this at an extraordinary meeting of the National Council of the New Patriotic Party held in Accra last Saturday when he accepted to be the running mate of the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Ntikrowa krata daily graphic ne fa etosudunsu no ehwa ena yegina na we vip obi bisase vip ne kura ye hwan vice president mampani abedi ekire Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ena oden nsem tuju a wo kire wa ye krado eba ne se adwuma ne dia wa ye krado wo bebo ne ye papa na we no che se ebi kura ensi pen se mampani che se wo besan ma na bedi ekire ensa so de atre se me ne wo na ekwache se me ne wo na egbu adwuma no wo ne kwanso nti ono so nani so papa na adwuma ne de wa ye krado wo beyire ne ho abose ne beye na wo man ye betumpon de akoye ni
Yanso ansem no so de Agyeiwaa page 19 so na ye do no say LPG to introduce running mates on Wednesday. The Liberal Party of Ghana, LPG, will on July 1, 2020 introduce its running mate for the 2020 presidential election. This will be followed by the launch of the party's manifesto on July 8, 2020. The leader and flag bearer of the LPG, Mr. Kofi Akpaloo, who disclosed this in an interview with Daily Graphic, said the running mate would certainly be a female. He said the party believes in gender equity, hence its decision to settle on a female running mate. Mr. Akpaloo said this because of the COVID-19 safety protocol. The event will be open only to 100 participants.
LPG, Amanyoko, the Liberal Party of Ghana, July busumi ne da edikan e wa afempinu ene eduonu yi mu no owura Akoffi Akpalo aha wono na wogiram de matches amanyoko no gidigidi eno no wono so de ne running mate chese wo bedan na edise na yi NPP amanyoko aya ne de na ye hwanim se NDC amanyoko so mampani de da John Dramani Mahama no so de ne running mate e ba bebo awuram na chese bibia e kamakama ne no na oto as no chese nam COVID-19 no hwehwe de egu akoma ye chese osoma horo na pra ye be ya dipo ha na ha sa pepepe ni senti no dwumede ndie ombe bi media ma dipo ha se ne be ye na social distancing hwehwe no wo mu betumi edi so kama nti ora Akpalo Akoffi Akpalo no di ntemi etudwa
na che we your friend e cha na eju se na bi mu di o manifesto na hyehyɛ August mu ni ade no on your see July che se next month ya e ba be wura ya na che se ochechi ya na che se omu di ahyehyɛ so se na be na che se we dey fresh from the oven you beti on omu nu masem kwa ansa na omu didi so no aba
me nda obepie mu fi ase
na ye hwɛ ne ni aye koso obia ha na che se LPG no we nye gas o when your gas, where your party of Ghana, and also no. Yet twice on page 19 was say MP for North Day distribute PPEs to churches. The member of Parliament for North Day, Miss Jocelyn Tete, has presented personal protective equipment to some churches within the Afoga district in the Volta region to help fight coronavirus. The attempt included infrared thermometers, nose masks, soap, and hand sanitizers. Some of the beneficiary churches were the Global Evangelical Church, Assemblies of God, Gospel Revival Ministry, Power of God Embassy, and the New Apostolic Church.
Se krate kurakate ni fa so du nkru no eho na ye gina na mbra hye bedwani de manot ye na de e okopie wo ne peso aso ho no mode a esan se COVID-19 yare no e ma ne homne so ye se ye ko asoro kra se ye check ye temperature ye fese ye ho adodo ye ne ade a nose mask senhye ni bebre ni nti maame Jocelyn Tete nso antena hosa no sa me peso aso se mo som de a e de na me so PPEs personal protective equipment ye de ebo ye ho ban mo so munji bi e ba nte nose mask ne ade a sanitizer se ne be nam de babo mo ho ban efi yare COVID-19 no ehun tu kopie mo onom de a wa ye omado ye gwe papa
Agyeiwaa COVID-19 ba ye so obi use sanitizer uti edin bi ma na ye maame no mobobobo sanitizer oh na chese ebum wo ho kra no kra mfa ho na ai no kra ko fa ho na chese na nyina ye keka gum na chese eno no ye go so our page 19 of the Daily Graph for see Eastern Region MPP rally support for voters registration exercise. The Eastern Regional Branch of the New Patriotic Party has called on political parties to support the Electoral Commission in its upcoming mass voters registration exercise. It has encouraged all eligible Ghanaians to register during the exercise to enable them to participate in the December election. The EC has scheduled June 30 to August 6 August 2020 to compile a new voters register ahead of 2020 general election. Addressing a press conference at the party's regional secretariat in the Koforidua last Tuesday, the regional secretary of the party, Mr. Jeff Kunedu Ado, gave the assurance that the MPP will cooperate with the EC and other stakeholders to carry out its constitutional mandate of the registering qualified Ghanaians for the December presidential and parliamentary election.
Tiwe okopiem ewo efoye mantem dia MPP amanyoko no mutirem dia esanse abato komisa mamje mensa ene ne mpanimfo eba ne se new voters registration di nchocho na ite ne be na nso benya voters ID card na wo mo hya ase nyame yado ma wo china dai no ene o mo chem dia wo mo taye chire gidigidi se eba ne se edi nchocho na ebeboa ama afimpinu ene edunu abato no so wetimi akọkire obobre wa kire wa dwense mampani anase mampani B na wo pese wodi o man so nti omo de wo motai abato commission echi ye papa apenti ye na ye fa ahokeka enko churu yidin kama krate ne fa etosu dunkron na ebepiem ewo ho
Yet also our Daily Graphic carton media na page 20 so na you do say Anas exposes COVID-19 scam. Was investigative journalist Anas Arimia Anas will today premiere a 30-minute documentary in which he goes undercover to expose an underworld of quack doctors in the country, shedding its light on the coronavirus scam said to be worth tens of thousands of dollars. The film, which is a collaborative effort with the BBC Africa, has been exclusively shown to the Daily Graphic reveals how some of local drugs manufacturers extort huge sum of money from unsuspecting victims by selling to them condoms portrayed as having the potential to cure COVID-19. Posing as the brother of a man infected with the virus, Mr. Anas set out to find so-called cures, some of which were advertised on radio and exposes, and the men who manufactured and sold to them. The investigation focuses on scammers known as the Agyeiwaa brothers.
Nchesekrate ne fa etosu edunu na Anas areme yaw Anas samre de wasan man ne su gidigidi ono eba ne sense ntrodwuma ne de he wonnenamu sa na ensem no eba bi ehye bi obetwe pie ama onso woto adeduan ne nchekra eba to dwa chese honorable akompre ko de betu dwa se wono obestop one time ha na so ne Anas areme yaw Anas wasan aman home so wo kire se COVID-19 yare ebaye wo bi ebo modern say yare ebi nche no mo ache ho achire wo mtese yare bi achire mo so wo benya ayaresa na manfo de wo mu nam kwati kwan so achire se dwirim wo mu diska ne ade chese wo mu sisi amanfo ne nyina entwe ye no wo de ho nsem chese eba betujan ono expose obe expose sisi obefa ho ntoma ama wo bi ehu senia ekọ nene BBC chese bono wo twe aha gidigidi enyumre ya chese ade a omo be premier ewo honum kam na nso wo hu nia ekoso ewo honum bi eno no BBC I channel aha no eni jumede chese anasa aman hu so na ne ya
na trailer no de aba na Agyeiwaa wo hu na chese oh mi hwe bi a chese Ghana for na chese obi kra weekend
ya na so wasa ma
eni a medie ka ho ana we do bi say na medie ka ho ana omo nim dada chese omo ya mo hihye omo kra omo nya na skra ji video na fi ni sem kra ka omo beje na do so eno no ha ti efi ana so we na pay 21 e wo no say Pantan Hospital glucose disinfected. Zoom Lion Ghana Limited last Friday disinfected the Pantan Hospital in the Ghana East Municipality and the premises of the Power Transmission Company, Ghana Grid Company Limited, in Tema, both in the Greater Accra region. The two institutions had their facilities and open spaces disinfected against the spread of the novel coronavirus disease and the other viruses and bacteria. The exercise was part of the Waste Management Company's efforts to support the central government in the battle against COVID-19.
Anyway, COVID-19 yare ba ye die. De si edi nro pete montin suampo ahurum schools ahurum mpono kopiem wo chesa ya sabia horo ye di nro na pete o sane ebeye na yare ne betumi akwati ana Zoom Lion Ghana so wo mobo adwuma yie papa ne ukopiem wo Pantan aya sabia o de ya de omdi nro apete o na anu fiada na Ghana East Municipality ho ene wo Zoom Lion for edi nro apete se COVID-19 yare no ano ya ye de sense ombi no na apete se na ebeye ne ye betumi akwati ayare COVID-19
Page 23 so na dey to so e Daily Graphic mo say Solidaridad, an international non-governmental organization in sustainable development, has organized a field trip for some selected youth in cocoa farming on the use of improved technology to reduce the dragnet involved in cocoa production. The youths were taken through the use of motorized pruners and slashers and the right use of agrochemicals for improved production. The objective of the training was to assist the youth to become entrepreneurs, to provide services to cocoa farmers, and also set up rural service centers in the various cocoa growing areas in the country. The training formed part of the activities under the phase of cocoa rehabilitation and intensification program being implemented by Solidaridad.
Na chese Daily Graphic waka se ne fa etoso eduonu miensa na se ma bepie mu ase de ba ne se ku adwuma na aha ona wo ye na ye hwa wo mani afini ade ne senti ne etwa se mabunu no aha wo mo so wo mbi omhu behim se na ebeye na chese nkokorafo ne mrewafo ne efia hunu se yes emrante ne maba wa no wo ho mo so wo mo bejira wo nas na mabo adwuma ne senti ne enkyerɛkyerɛ ana senti tie se wo mo fa mu ni nyina egugu akwama chese ekoso se na ebe na wo mo so wo mo betumi aba behim ewo ku adwuma na bibia akosotote wo ne senti ne entitie se wo mo nsa ka ba ne se cocoa production na eguso ede mom se na ebebo se cocoa ho ekura ebuam ye didi juma bebre tete anopa bi aha ni nyina cocoa na ye abebo na anopa no cocoa ndi echese ebuam ye nya niema bebre efi nti yese emebunu so ede omo ebehiem
na Agyeiwaa nka ha na yehu cocoa na yekoye nkurase ya cocoa ne wo bo a utumi disa ubetafro nka chese esen eyi tofi kra chese ubetumi adi na udi wi a ne ebeto no enu ye kira asem nko a
ose na ebeto no
asa na bibi foforo so ka ho enu de ye wi a ebeka ho asem akire page 26 so na yedru e daily graphic mo see some senior officers have presented personal protective equipment worth 25,000 to the Ghana Police Service to support the fight against COVID-19 among 7 officers. The items, which included 200 gloves, 100 gowns, 100 N95 nose masks, 20 gallons of hand sanitizers, 50 boxes of surgical nose masks, 20 packs of hair nets, and 10 packs of nose covers were donated by members of senior police officers, Course 45. The president of the course is 45, Superintendent Dr. Michael Sena Ewukubia, said the gesture was to support the police administration and set an example for other senior officers to give back to the service.
And we senior court ban say COVID-19 yari ya but also me say no benten akwakoye ado ye personal protective equipment PPE say na be na mo so de be bom ho ban no na chesa police adwumaku no wo so e wo monsa aka eniema yi say na be no be bom ho ban efi COVID-19 yari no na ba na say hand gloves ne nose mask ne ade sanitizer surgical nose mask ne ade ni na wo monsa akem se na ebe no be bom ho ban edi afi yare no na COP adodankwa HM no chese so kopi ote adenta railway police station ni ade edi a COVID-19 yare omomo ho no ekoba nse wo bi anya bia wo mo so ehia se wo mbenya niam o mo de be bom ho ban no na nam so masa ado yewe ekoso e wo ho no
Agyeiwaa shomo ya depan sise nipa ya ade osede osayi nti ha no pe omo ya depan so omo boa omo fefo se na e ka no se bi wo nsem akakra bi a obenya no na wo so wo de aboa se na COVID-19 e wo man mu a se e wo mso omo ho atom no pe dose no nso no e betu ase kakra ne bi mu ka se ne ya we wo hwe de wa aye no ho na wan hwa na ne yakotena insem na chese
nya dia chese
eba be fia na chese akoye malaria ne cholera no na chese nose mask de ye be shashe ne ye anwa chese nkwara no bakọ meka se ni house ye cover no mo so akava bi ne obohu na adane fashion sisi ade obi pamatari no aye hu nose mask Agyeiwaa wo hu sa de no
na mse brebe ho ye pre na ateda wonya pam na tade na ono ana opam ti no wa hu nose mask ateda bra kofi ano pe wo hwe se na mekan yensu ehia MAT bi de aha eti no se na aye se obeya man no ye hwe animu a enesa
na no se mu sem no page 29 so na yedru o daily graph say Agyeiwaa hospital COVID-19 center in their need of PPE. The COVID-19 center, the Agyeiwaa government hospital in the Lower Manyokrobo municipality, in their need of personal protective equipment to protect health workers treating patients with the coronavirus disease. The center serves many districts in the eastern region, including Upper Manyokrobo, Eswojaman, Lower Manyokrobo, Yulokrobo, as well as other areas in the Greater Accra region. The municipal health administrator in the Lower Manyokrobo municipality, Mr. Besmasa Kodie, made the approval for PPE when the Manyokrobo COVID-19 fund presented some PPE to the COVID-19 center at the Agyeiwaa government hospital last Thursday.
Yes, we cracked any farm, a tosso, a juno, and crying. Some of the banyas, I won't say a band say a pom, the answer any arena. COVID-19 a real buy and Abibiano, almost stress on Sabeka, personal protective equipment. Send a bear number bomb who buy a figure and when I know now I occupy with your hospital, ya Sabia, personal protective equipment, woman soap, woman sa, a can be a nose mask, hand sanitizer, Nissan, I'm the boy who buy COVID-19 and woman soap, woman sa, a can be.
Agyeiwaa mo saka bi de nso mo pa che se dodo na no mo hia say be a komo mo fusi amova
I sabia ne ade de dɔɔso
dɔɔso
impo ne ye senior high students e kura mpo asania ye kan o ye kase so no mo nsa aka bi o mo nsa enka ne na so ye nkakran nti mo nsa aka we no ye bi a ebi ye be wo mso mu ye bi na so no ye nkakran se wo mu aha ye ntumi fa ne nyina ma na bi e wo ho a wo no so ne nsa enka ne bi nti ne chiche ne gu so ko so ne bi gidi se bibia bekwa bi he na wo bia ensa aka ne bi wo mu.
Yentu ansem ne so na page 29 hwa na won Ghana Armed Forces investigate Kumbugu emergency landing. The Ghana Armed Forces says it has constituted an investigation team to conduct a full assessment of the damage to the Air Force's helicopter Z9EH, which performed an emergency landing in Kuvunu, a village in the Kumbugu district in the northern region. The work of the pit, which is already on the ground, would facilitate the recovery of the helicopter with a tail number GHF 630 in its Air Forces base in Tamale. A statement issued by the Public Relations Directorate at the regional headquarters Burma Camp, Accra last Saturday, and signed by the Director of Public Relations, Agyeiwaa, and said all 4 crew members and 4 other military personnel on the board at the time of the incident were successfully recovered within the minutes by another armed forces helicopter with no fatalities nor injuries.
Just a crack any fire a tosso eduonum chrono, a why and I equals ejana the Ghana Armed Forces and woman in summer baby to your much say a helicopter say a bell land a one man untino, and then was a macquarie de jawubia, a cabinet of Kumungu district, our northern region, no much is there no. Hey, how one back say, Banner say, Juma or Mobonadia, no, just any ascendia, just or Juma de, Guso airborne center, and also once a match say, a baby or cat any fet or so, Edionum chrono.
Page 32 so na yedru our daily graphs. GES trained school heads others in COVID-19 ahead of the reopening of schools for junior high schools. Form 3 students today. The Ghana Education Service has started training ahead of basic and senior high schools and key officials in the regional and district offices in the do's and don'ts on the coronavirus pandemic. The training is to enable managers of the school to be abreast of issues about the pandemic and be able to respond appropriately in the event of any outbreak in their respective schools. The Director General of the GES, Professor Kessewaa, who briefed the Daily Graphic, explained that the school's health education program of the GES and the GES Health Services were leading the education and the training.
Just a crack any fire a tossu, a diasam you know, a high no one self, and so Benum Busum and a Ghana man penny and another for because I watched to say, the stress and your COVID-19, you're really fan and number banadia, not just a stairs you have one more to fear, and send a benomo quarter to your MSI, a busia for no more, and a mere busuminum. There was Sunday being down, didn't watch a says you have for no, one on final year and walk out now watching India as if I say, oh my. One more any year that ye chop at a say one more cogin India no much almost of an enom and I can't say some more the by church up as say hey and additional incense to Ghana education service for idea one more buana chess school in penny for no or my church from send a banner COVID-19 yaren copy a school who remember to me a boas and a banner yareno and what say at the say a won't and also once maybe pay a daily graphical account and
send our phone be a motion and say, hey, and your member your moko school near the natchez, she share a walk when mom send your bayana COVID-19 no enter a school who do anymore. Page 32, 33, and natchez, you can't say, no, say, dear boom, no, ha. Story also promotes achievement of universities. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Legon, Professor Ebenezer Owusu, has enjoined media practitioners not to run down the country's university, but to strive to promote their positive attributes. Such an endeavor, he said, was one of the surest ways to develop the university to best global practice and standard. The Vice Chancellor stated this when he met the management of Daily Graphic Communication Group Limited in a meeting to explore partnership aimed at deepening ties between the two organizations. The GCGL was presented by the Managing Director, Mr. Ato Afo, the editor of the Daily Graphic, Mr. Kwabena Emsa, and the Director Marketing, Mr. Franklin Sowa. Others from the Eugene were the Aging Director, Office of Institutional Advancement, Professor Robert Ebohinson, and the Director Institute of Advanced Science and Technology, Professor George Nkansa, Mrs. Agyeiwaa Abrokwa, and the Miss Magdalene Tando, and the Ewulimi Relation Officer, Mrs. Anna Ampofo of the Agyeiwaa Association.
Sese krata ni fa etoso aduasa mienu ni aduasa miensa na anche se esa krata no chese mfimfini ho no mo pe no na ensema ebepiem se Vice Chancellor Edma University of Ghana Esuapon Professor Ebenezer Odrowusu no den sema tuja no chese ensentro for na ha media officer ban se Esuapon aworo na eye mpempie no wo mudwumadi a wo moya ese efata eboa ema omanyi tumpo na ya yemo hu de ruyi papa se ne beboa na wo mso chese be show mu kra na ma kosoa aye na aboa ma omanyi tumi afa yenzo mapa efra endi omo ye kan hu se ya ba ne se ebra COVID-19 yare ema nhomnisi abribia na ye test so obi anya bi so onya bi bebre na enya itine ehia se test kit no yetumi nya bebre so akwa horo no eyiye bi a chese ye betena ase afidi so de emi etiya ye bo ma basopa ni omnyu mapa nti nyuma pa de wo m ya yes ye bekoso
abo ho dawo
etumi afa ne nto mapa efra se ne Vice Chancellor e de atudwa no.
Page 43 now share page 43 why they were share headlines on see prophet Owusu Agyeiwaa granted bail. Now we share enka same way nke we daily guide man aka obehu and a real prophet then I just say in some way keka ho na yen some
prophet one
real prophet one granted bail na just omo headlines in friend dia go na just no so no now our daily graph we say prophet Owusu Agyeiwaa granted bail or say Kwabena Owusu Agyeiwaa the man of God standing trial for allegedly threatening the cause of death of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission has been granted bail in the sum of 100,000 Ghana cedis with 3 sureties by an Accra Circuit Court. Per the bill condition, 2 of the sureties must be public servants earning not less than 2,000 Ghana cedis. He has been directed by the court to deposit his passport at the court registry. Mr. Owusu Agyeiwaa is also to report to the police every 2 weeks. He has meanwhile pleaded not guilty to the charge of threat of death contrary to the section 75 of the Criminal Offence Act 1960 Act 29, unlawful possession of narcotic plant contrary to section 41 subsection 1 of the Narcotic Control Commission Act 2020 Act 1019 and the assault of public officer.
we asem de obeka na chira
na o kan se wan pa na de na kwagina ho se me de ade we me na me ye audio kra o ha ni video e be bo no nipa na nchi ntumo da
asem bi won ma obeka ho unim se waka na chira but e chira sem no insunsu aso se obe se wo sa de che okra asem bo na ye ka wa hu se kra ta ni fa eto so aduana miensa daily graphic wa kra ta no mu a e na yegusu ejina no Prophet Owusu Agyeiwaa I woko ekopie mu a postifo akachi ni nyina ne se enuboni bi ana ikura no sanso e na afin so akoba nse wabo abato commission ma ngi mensa wa threaten se ne nkwa no chese ebeye ntinti no ene nam so ma ekopie mu na ekopie wo Accra Circuit Court de a wo motra ensemsu na so de akoba ya ne se Prophet Owusu Agyeiwaa wo agrant ne bill of 100,000 Ghana cedis nti we ene nsema chese bepiem wo kratem na nyina mu nso na watwemienu bia na tese wode ne ho ekọ kire wom sanso na ba ne se ne passport ese etimi kopiem wo court registry nti chese nsem de wo mugusu edi akire gidi enye se akodadin
na Agyeiwaa wo hwe kabi mami nkabi a ekoso wo man bebre na anti ase o omje se chese kabi mami nkabi nti asem bia obetumi aka na wokọ nso ese we ye futuo mo ayo majo se he me de mame akwanya na me kotena TV bi so na se radio bi so he de film akoma mu ba bia je se me so ne so crowd eno anse me de gu mo saa nti we enya futuo ema yankasa ye ho na won se nkofo bebre na eye saa de we pa ye ma omo opportunity ka kre bi na chese omo kotena so a
omo obi free no na chese ono so
de dom na ka ho na chese nsem radio okeka gu mo se ya na yemfa page 55 to aso wa daily graphic no say na 161 charges dropped na chese akoyo huhu see the prosecution in the trial of Nana Apia Mensah aka Nam1 has withdrawn the 61 charges originally brought against the embattled chief executive officer of Men's Gold. The prosecution is insisted file new charges against Nana Mensah to enable the court to take his plea. The prosecutor, Assistant Superintendent of Police Sylvester Sari, told the Circuit Court in Accra, presided over by Miss Ellen Asamoah, at its sitting on Tuesday, June 23, 2020, that the amended charge sheet was ready and would be filed to pave way for the necessary processes. In September 2019, ASP Asare prayed the court to allow the prosecution time to amend the charges against the CEO of Agyeiwaa Gold Dealership Company.
Hey, number one. Ay, Nana Pia Mensah. Number one. Ne wonsem na ababe pie mo ko akata ni fa etoso eduonum enum na ya. Na one nsem yi de.
Chese
enkoda bi oho no mo.
Na ekoba and say wa signing artist for kwa na ni omubu fu ye ni conference akese omo ye o de ye ka yesu ebumewu ebumu yare na chese o de ohun atomenu na pese wuti no ene wa ko signing new artist music na chese omo de omo bebo nyom na weni ji na chese de ye ntena ho na ye nsu sa na chese ene ebumu yiram so mu piepiem kwajusika kwajusika
na umma me
onda we dem ho
fa etoso eduonum no na ye Nana Pia Mensah nam 1 sa ene edi adodo na e de friend Men's Gold wono eni omu chief executive officer omu CEO na ne de charges aye de bo no edusi aba ko chese enye charges ketua charges makoma 61 no ne de ekopiem e wo honom de asa charges nyina ya de chese ya bo ato honom na new charges nso eno new charge fra eba be piem e wo nam 1 nsensem yi ehun.
Page 61 so na edo say environment and sanitation how say government to intentional with recycling. Also the general manager of the integrated recycling and compositing plant, Miss Betty Brown Jedu, has employed the government to advance policies that will ensure deliberate support to recycling companies to guarantee their sustainability in the recycle sector of the country. She has also appealed to the government to expedite actions on a management contract detailed the support needed and has been submitted to it, making the call for assistance during an exclusive interview. Ms. Nedu said, the impact of what we do for the society is critical, and that is why the government must be intentional about supporting recycling companies such as this one. She told the Daily Graphic that currently each recycle that sent in waste was charged 45 Ghana cedis per ton, which was lower than the World Bank's benchmark for compositing in middle-income countries.
Just a kwakata any fa etoso edusia baako no. The general manager of the integrated recycling and composting plant, Mame Betty Brown, nyadu no de nsema to dwa watch say eba ne say recycling process na omo ye na chese ni neboa emye na ho nidie ho nsem etume epem ekọ na ni ye papa na hwe eba ne say waste na wo mo de kwa sika ye ji omni ade na no ho nsem ni nyina wo chese esese aban ehwe na no so eda na koma so papa se ne ebeye na dwumedi ni nyina ebekọ so torti.
Back page so na yedru ewo Daily Graph for see president inaugurate Suhum overpass. The Suhum overpass on Accra Kumasi highway in the eastern region has finally been completed and open to traffic 12 years after work on the project has begun. President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo inaugurated the project last Friday. The dual cartridge overpass is part of the 31.7 kilometer Kwafrom Pedra Junction Road project, which is one of the many projects along the Central Corridor designated as national routes under the Ghana Highway Authority's functional classification of road and was funded from the Consolidated Fund. The Suhum dual carriage overpass consists of 2 bridges bearing a total of 4 lanes. Each of the bridges is supported by a 10-span reinforced concrete bus grider with a total length of 250 meters.
Just a Daily Graphic back page no na edu so achese keke na achese Daily Graphic wakata no ye die gua ne sanene ukopiem ewo Suhum a overpass e wo Accra ede kokuma se kwantempon ne so ho no eno no epueye mantem ade Ghana mampani na adoda Akufo-Addo achenkwa na nko nu mbremu ene de wadan ne digidi se ne ebeye ene ekwan so nsem ebekọ tote ewo man Ghana ma se ne no ene nam so e ma so fo hye kwan ene akwantempon ensem so owura Kwesi Amoako ata eso de nsem to dwa wo kire se ba ne se footbridge a kire se ye nante so di twa kwam ni ade ya eno no mu wotre eno mbe se na ebeboa na temamfo so betumi atwa kwam asumdwem na koba ne se wo twa kwam na ka akọ na kire se bibia ba wiye no na project manager China Water and Electric Corporation na wo ye kwan yi owura tumu online ha wo no so eda aban ase ye papa se ba nse adwuma na no mo ye na aban so ma nani ekom ho pan mo a na ese se omo nsaka no mde po adwuma ni nyina no omo nsaka no ne kwan se pepe nti omo so edan aban ase
na me say Charles na ka one ne ye adwuma ni ko best ka say di na boy no ene san abobio o say e no o man na atwemu ni nyina kwa ene say obeka ene je say o to make kra nchia na no kra no abodi
we ne kra de easy owura atwemu online
na je say no kra de easy no
nti we lie
Agyeiwaa ye san so aka twom say ya ma kwan na dem enye say kwan ne dem se ne ye kan edema tema motor we yo mu ye enye nto abeko speed sa ne say kwan ne kwan dem ene oti seat na chi a na che say on de kwan na okọ nti over speed no aya ye nto ye bo se ne be na kwanhye bia enkoso ewo kwan no so na che say eno so eno no
na ne ya ene ye ka wo mu so say Ghana is watching Jumedie no se ne ye ka say ye be hya ase na wo kwan so nsem kura etisen wa ho ne die ho nsem so sen na etie ba ne say wo bambo nsem so sanso na oman Ghana ha say nipa bi ehihyofuo bi na aboa ama oman Ghana ene ye do san pempen so aye dure na so aso ye kai wo omumu ahempo na yinimom wo mo dabrem etisen sen na ebusua na ene wo mo ye twa ye ni de kwhwa mo ana sense ni nyina wubenya wo Ghana is watching Jumedie so Jumedie ye hya ase memenda ebe ya wo DJ TV na DJ TV so sanso na MATV yenso yebeyi de amamo nti abebia na ya na wahwe de amayem na afenso wugya wo message eto onum sanso na wo hwe dia ekoso yie nia enkoso yie wo mpote se Ghana is watching there enye nia enkoyi nkwa na ye ka nia ekoso yie ni so etwa fata se ye ka nti eno no wunya ho foni ana se video na wo ya send ye WhatsApp number na abibia eda wo screen ani no sa wo de ba ye bedi hu dwuma e ama o kama e wo Ghana is watching Jumedie so
ye se ne abohu Agyeiwaa no aye ne nso so Ghana show ye se de obeye bia na camera na eda wo so a ye chiwa na achiwo se bola ho na bia de wudi udwuma se nsuo ye bia ba bia ho ntina wo sade ye wo chese ni nyina Ghana is watching ye be capture pan ama wanka se wo hu e wo TV so say ti me pan na me yes ni nyina eno no ebusuafo oguso a wo hwe mo ni break Jumedie a chese the sport beat no ebro na afen so entertainment gist near the broader na chese the bokata musem no ene e dey to aso mo na e ka wo say global sky security ena so ya say global sky security say na e ka no o security ho ne ama bia de emfa wani kire baby no ani global sky security say na me ka no global sky security omo ne ama pa no ye nton abonti o ututu anamo na say wo ko ha na say wo from a ombohu na ma customizing e kama global sky security baby a wo pe bia say electric fence CCTV security chese bibia wo pe bia no eba ne security ho ne amade global sky security eba abeya ma na chese ombe ye ma wo so na chese wo ne omo wo anyonkofa relationship no chese bebi nya touch market tuwe bia omo abeya ma chese onya from ane omo kai omo abetu esiwa chese omo siese bibia ma omo je wo hwe kra global sky security omo nsa no adwuma papa ne bi eno no from e wo 03025250303002 522503 and no global sky security na afen so Leonard's Homes construction company papa pan omutumi sidan esiesie mu ma wo kase edan pan no mo page si wan global sky security so wo pese wo si school just office bi a pese wo si no Leonard's Homes construction company Leonard's Homes construction company papa pan omo besi wo dan ama ofefefe a chese ehun asem bia eni ho enti mo amoy je say me de sika mi ma me wo fa asem o si dan obeba na ndua egu ho a chese emu adidi mu na chese wo ho ma na chese obakra wunya baby ntina no ntina me kan full Leonard's Homes construction company e di ama so mo no mo si dan a utumi wo se dan no papa nye de o mesene fake pictures ama obeba na chese ba ko bia na no me hu yo o send is command wo fa se o si dan mo afido ba say enye dan we na me ka se si ne me mpa chese wo koda hotel kra na wo hwa ne ma we na embo enti Leonard's Homes Construction company papa on besi udan mo na anano permit to anymore almost from 0302 544 708 0302 544 708 I Leonard's Homes Construction Company almost abeka ye ho mo ta ye chi dedende ma anybody bridge me di esomo ya ka won say obetumi de messages no about Facebook, YouTube, Instagram na Facebook, Twitter mayen kan ma wo e wo dwumade so nia odwi say enkoyie ene nia ekoyie bia say ne ya bobo so you say we de me no mo nya adwen na Facebook wo de wadwen kire so aba ne enti a wo no mo nya adwen bia entutu ebi wo say if say nyansa wo hoye nji wo ba akofo tim ha na won so wo de wadwen kire bia afa ho na che say ya ken kan ma wo fefefe e wo dwumade so na de edru so Agyeiwaa ye to aso de Ghanaian Times so na ye dru na hwe Ghanaian Times de nsem so de ahima ye de som ahwefo na nofe ye sha say de page 3 of the Ghanaian Times na sha so Lands Commission in court for allocating public land to former President Rawlings. Ghanaian has dragged the Land Commissions to court for allocating 4,368 acres of public land to former President Jerry John Rawlings for personal use. On May 3, 2016, the Lands Commission, acting on the instruction of then President John Mahama, allocated the land situated along the Seku Torres Street to former President Jerry John Rawlings in his personal name to be used for the Rawlings Foundation. The plaintiff, Mr. Jonathan Hom, a businessman and resident of Osu, Accra, is urging that by virtue of Article 20, subsection 5 and subsection 6 of the 1992 Constitution, public lands acquired in the public interest are required to be used for public purposes that will endure the benefits of Ghanaians generally and not for personal or selected sectarian or escortive purposes.
And we the Ghanaian Times the bokrata no na etwa so de amamu ora Jonathan wono no oye businessman chese dwadie na chese ye na dwuma wo ye ne de wo kirem bia Lands Commission wo twom gidigidi de o makwa kopium wo court ni nyina ne se mampanin deda Rawlings asase bia wo mu twama no Rawlings Foundation no na owura Jonathan
Regional Police Commander, Deputy Commissioner of Police Ampofuduku has inaugurated a new divisional police command for the region. Until the inauguration of the Gatanga Divisional Police Command on Friday, the region, which is made up of 15 municipalities and districts, had only one divisional police command at Beko. At Boko, DCOP Duku said that the establishment of the police divisional command in the region has been on the drawing board for more than 10 years. He stated the divisional police command play a major role in meeting the efforts of the regional police command in combating crime and appeal to government and development partners to support the creation of a common police divisional command in the Upper East.
Right way, uko PM Upper East Mansem Honum Ghanaian Times. Ko akrata yi mu a na yegusu ejina no na akrata ni fa etoso miensa no kopiem Upper East Mantem no de na de new divisional police command for pra na womo apa no na Mantem ho no regional police commander deputy commissioner of police DCOP Ampofuduku no de nsem to dia watch say bra wo madam foforo di kwa de ogidi say wono so oba bebo adwuma ese efatani senti na ese wo bibiara eboasa na ebeye na wono so na adwuma no ebeso ani na akoso kama wo hono.
The editorial so na ye drew Ghanaian Times so spare as the agony of fake news on COVID-19 in schools. Junior high schools final year students resume school today to prepare for their basic education certificate examination, expected to be written in September. This forms part of the roadmap of gradual easing of restriction and returning the country back to normal, as announced by the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in a broadcast after broad consultation with stakeholders. The students have been at home since March as a result of the closure of schools as part of measures to check the spread of the novel severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2 that is responsible for the deadly COVID-19 disease. Originally, these young ones will have finished writing their exams and awaiting results to get admission into their dream senior high school. The academic calendar has been distorted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Once again, we wish them the best of studies and good luck in their final exams and advise that they adhere strictly to the health protocols to keep them safe.
nti krate ne fa etoso nnan no wasamufo no na adwenkyerɛ na sɛ na adwenfo na wapunkyin de aba bepiem wo times an Ghanaian Times ko wa krate na ne nyina ne sɛ COVID-19 yare na bresiafo no ekopie wo nsuku ahoro sɛ ne be no benya nimdi a esefata de akwakokyerɛ mu nso he ne nam mframa ma ba fontentan fidie so ne ade kyerɛ sɛ esuafo no ebi anya COVID-19 yare na no no wasamufo na de aba na kyerɛ sɛ saa ne ma wonyina ya entwe kura wu se obi anya bi enso wosi wanya bi na kyese mo cheche wa be fontinta fidie so ane sa na ya emwa na emom no wo mo hye o hye suafo no pa se bra wo mo ko de akwakojo nim bi e junior high school fo no esese wo mo mo madwen e ko mo nwoma ne so na bo musua ne ye papa pa isen hye ahoro nyire gu akwam a ye de bom hu ban e de afi yare mu de mo ma ehu emom kra na emom no womo yirom ho ensua de afeso womo nyina womo yirom ho ne nkunimdie enko omo afa
na Agyeiwaa hwe schools ya de buy sem kofo anya COVID-19 chese omo hihye schools no enya se bia ba akopɛ school ba akopɛ chese enyom de school we ba ne wanya 9 nkofo 19 na enya ene school we nkofo 12 na chese omo chiche mu schools bia na wo hwe nipa na wa ye ho chese e friend calendar ankasa chese we breaking no a chese obia ne na wonya news by force say wonya news na chese wo sen nkofo di keke se omo nya COVID-19 na no no de na yenya wo mti yentwe ye ho efri nta ne ama we na se ne school for no ombetumi atro exams no omde adwenpo be ka se sound mind atro exams na chese bibia akoye de amom na page 4 ho na egu so support efforts to make road traffic safe. The Ghana Road Safety Authority has held a stakeholder consultation on the draft legislation instrument LI with a call on Ghanaians to support efforts aimed at sanitizing the road sector. The new regulation have become evident as it will provide a framework for the coordination, regulation, implementation and enforcement of road safety regulation and standard. When passed, the LI would enable the NRSA to enforce standards to promote sanity and reduce clashes on the roads. The LI will advance realistic enforcement of provision the National Road Safety Act 2019, which established the authority.
anti ko wakrata ni fa etoso 9 na ehwa na yegusu ejina na the Ghana Road Safety Authority JRSC for wom de nsema to dwom chese ba na se ye kwanso nsem ya de senia bibia ebekotote na se ye boa pa na eba nse ye kwanso nsem ye jija ne magugu basabasa wo ho ne ade nyina ye betumi atwe ye ho afim se na ebe na akwanhye bia ebekoso wo ye mamu no ye betumi ako etiasa so na MTT defense mpanimfo a eba nse police adwumakuo na wo mafa ehwe ye kwanso George nsem so wo mo so wo mo de nsem tu dwa wo mo chete ye nyina ye moa se na ebe na bibia ebekoso tote wo ye kwanso
na Agyeiwaa hwe ye kwanso George na chese MAT before ye so ye ta omo chi pa ti na adwumadie bi se Ghana is watch chese ye kwanso nsem nyina enso e ka ho a wo chese wo bu bi kakra na ne wo ko se wo ko benkum na ko nifa wo kwanso a na chese ebe wi ase no de akopem ka foforo bi na so de akoshe gata mu kra ne kra me ba na chese ka bi kra to gata ma chese na me pay twa so no be say time ni ho kra ese me di morning break news super review na ebe so montiment me antwa nti no so na ya hye no so na chese ya kan no ewo ye kwanso jojo nti page 5 wo na ye dru ewo the Ghanaian Times say UK on knife edge ahead of lockdown easing. The UK remains on a knife edge and must act sensibly over the summer months to stop a second wave of coronavirus, a scientist has warned. Sir Jeremy Farrar said he is worried about a surge in cases ahead of pubs and restaurants opening next month. Home Secretary Priti Patel said people have to be conscious about the risk of a second wave. She said the city of Leicester could face a localized lockdown after a rise in cases. Sir Jeremy, a member of the Government Scientist Advisory Group of Emergencies and the Director of Wellcome Trust, has warned that there could be a very nasty rebound of the virus in the winter.
anti we okopiem e wo yuka ha covid-19 yare no e ba ye no wo so wo de lockdown ho hye bebre e ba e kon be fa so abom ho ban e fi covid-19 yare no se ne o man Ghana so na edi akoten wo ha mampani na na dan kwaku fa do e be kasa na chese ogogo hye num e de e ma ye sa na wo so wo mo e be gugu hye se ne e be ye na covid-19 yare no mbetumi akoati ane no e na wo hyem de se ne yare no eti atese pa na wo kasa wo ba be gugu nhyehyemu dia eno no emmoa wom tie no so ho nsem a ebepi okrata ni fa eto sunum no
Yentua so Ghanaian Times when they are page 11 so and I see heavy military presence in Ketu South to enforce border closure. The Volta Regional Minister Dr. Agyeiwaa has explained that the heavy presence of the armed personnel of the military and other security agencies in the Ketu South municipality is meant to enforce the closure of border. According to him, the number of personnel of the Ghana Immigration Service at the borders were now inadequate to enforce the closure effectively, for which reason other security agencies were assisting to enforce the closure of schools. Mr. Lecha said this at a press conference in Ho on Friday to react to public concerns over the trend, stressing that since the closure of the frontier and few months ago to prevent the spread of COVID-19, some lawlessness people still cross in and out of Ghana with a municipality using unapproved routes. He said that the recent claims by the Volta Regional Chairman of the NDC, Dr. Henry K. Ametefi, that the government has declared war on the Volta region, and for that matter, the Ewe people was unfortunate to the totally untrue. The Volta region is an interior part of Ghana, so however, the government declared war on it was not true. The regional minister sought to know.
ti Ghanaian Times ko bakrata ne fa eto su du ba ko no ukopiem e wo fla o mantem honom de e wo so afọ wo honom doctor the channel ni wo de nsemato bia wo kire se e ba nte asrafo a ye de wo magugu ya hye so se ne be no mbebo ye ho ban na no no ye shoma wo munimde aha e ba nso madwuma na wo munimde pa the sent no nya de ombe so nema a ensem fatas na mom no wo mbe bibia emra kwan se ne be na wo bi nam kwati kwan so mepi o man Ghana na se obi nam kwati kwan so emfi Ghana na covid-19 yade no se koba ne se wonye bia wonfa enko saya foforo ho no.
Page 11 hwane wona chese border yom the security agogo de Agyeiwaa emunsem ne nyenja account na chese minority so de omo de aba so the minority in parliament is demanding the immediate withdrawal of military personnel deployed to some Ghana-Togo border towns. The deployment comes just days after the commencement of the voter registration exercise tomorrow. Ghana's land, sea, air borders have remained shut since March 22 as a measure to stop the importation of coronavirus cases in the country. According to the calculus, the deployment of the troops to border towns in the Volta, Northern, Northeast, and Upper East region is a ploy by government to instill fear into the people ahead of the exercise. By this, the minority of the conviction that people in the affected areas will not be able to turn out in their numbers to partake in the exercise.
Se krata ne fa eto su du ba ko no owura James Agaga wo no na nfoni eda ha na okopiem e wo emrahye bedwefi a minority idom kuma mo ho ne kirem dia asrafo a ide wo makwa kogugu ahye su bebre Ghana Togo yehye ne so wonom no ade a chese wo mo doso dodo esenti se ka yitumi ede bifo na so ne he a se ne ebe ye na chese ye bambo nsem no ebe koyie so obi na mpoti kwa so emfa emma emepiem ewo man Ghana say James Agaga edin semi to nsentrofo anim na anu fiada ewo bra na wone wom etwetwe nkomo
na se na mekan ne nsem we de se I say nsem bia ba eso se na obi ate ase obi beti ase obi nti ase na chese eno ho nsem akwa de dwa mpa chese e ba ne security fo no kokuo bebreba ankofo ni besuro so mo be pie fi o mo fie so mo ba be de mo ba be voters registration na chese eno so ho nsem no nti eno so ya hwe de ba akosi na ning na so be kan e wo MATV so amahwefo na de eto so e wo page 12 of the Ghanaians on president rallies or to register. President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has urged Ghanaians above 18 years and above with sound mind to turn up in their numbers to participate in the new voters registration exercise by the Electoral Commission, which begins tomorrow, June 30. Last Thursday, the Supreme Court, presided by Chief Justice by anonymous decision by the 7-member panel settled all the issues, surrendering the voters register and affirmed the right of the EC to proceed with the compilation of the new voters register in the commencement of provision of Constitutional Instrument CI 126. The road has now been cleared for the Electoral Commission to proceed. I'm calling on every member and the sympathizer of the New Patriotic Party, and indeed all eligible Ghanaians, no matter what party they belong to, if any, to go and register and exercise their civic responsibility on 7 December 2020 to select a government of their choice in a free and fair and peaceful election.
we Ghana man penina na adoda kwa Akufo-Addo afimpinu ni adunu abatoa a ebeba so no ansa na ebeba so na kire won so esese edinchocho new voters registration na ekoso wukọ na wukọ ekochiro de no na Ghana man peni kire de wote pa na emom no eye nyina yenkenya ye ho yenkeka ye ho ni yenkọ enkonkochiro yedi na duru afimpinu ene adunu abatoa na yenso ya kire ye bobre na chese ya pa man peni a ye pe no se na ebe no man yi bibia ebetumi akoso tot e wo hati
Page 14 one ye bro Ghanaian Times was in ministry to ensure adherence to COVID-19 protocols. Also, the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations will from July 1, 2020 embark on a nationwide interpretation tour of workplaces to ensure strict adherence to health protocols to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The random inspection of offices, shops, and factories will also ensure strict compliance with the enforcement of all lines outlined by government, the World Health Organization, and the Ghana Health Services. A statement issued by the Public Relations Unit of the Ministry and copied by the Ghanaian Times in Accra stated that MIA had noticed with a grave concern and spread of COVID-19 infection at workplaces, despite measures taken by government to curtail the spread of the virus. It said as part of the inspection, the MIA said strict adherence to management commitment and responsibility to reduce the risk of COVID-19 at a particular places.
and we krate ni fa etosu du 9 no se ne COVID-19 yare no ama ne ho no snatch rete adentre ne wo oman mu ne no ho nsem na chese owura Ignatius bafo wedding nsem atudwa wo chese ba ne se bambo nsem ne dia wo mo bom ho bodi ye papa se ne be ye na ye betumi edis enhihye bia so na COVID-19 yare no yebetumi apoatia ewo oman Ghana mu ase wo chese eba ne se isolation room bia obi nya yare ni bia yebete no ede na kona no so ese bibia etumi ekoso tote ewo ho se ne be na yare COVID-19 nyina ebetumi apoatia wo oman Ghana mu ase
na chese omo che ni onya wa adwuma se yete ase bu ho na ne omo abo ewura ha na chese ye hwe omo mu hye nose mask omo mu hye bi social distancing se ye adwuma ne ade ha chese eba ne se wo hye mu de ne waso me ya hye papa chese
ene ho isolation
sentence na yanka se nose mask no ba ha yan friend dia go na wanka se gate na ka se bon se no nose mask no entry na nye program mi pa na enya ka etie ho ne de ne a chese tani ameka no we hye nose mask ene adaka mu de hin na ope ye hye papa e wa ha se na chese o mbe pie ha dia ye de ho so aha te no so eno no page 14 so na ye do as journalists reminded of crucial role in election 2020 and page 14 where na ye go so see the National Media Commission has urged journalists not to forget the crucial role they play to ensure free and fair general election on December 7th. According to NMC, in the reporting on election, journalists would be expected to serve as a guardian and voice of the people. Speaking at a media convention in Kumasi, the NMC chairman, Agyeiwaa, reminded journalists of the NMC guidelines for political reporting, which demanded that media practitioners publish truthful, unbiased information.
Teacher Sakrata any feto so do 9 no Ghanaian Times for wakata no eno aso ena yegusu eja ora ya buadu ayebuafo no National Media Commission NMC no wono ena oye dwemtre ne ha ntene wode nsem eko e de ama incentral for church afimpinu eni eduonu abato de incentral for yenso ejira ye nasi papa na emom senya edi no kredie ena edi yedwuma no sa na sese ekoso ewa afimpinu eni eduonu abato no afenso eni voters registration na ebeba so na sese yetimi ejina pem na bibia ekoso tote sese no kre ena bibia ye manu edi ye ni na emom no me ye nam kwati kwa so enye ye ne ma ense enfate se ye ena mpempi no timemufo no etie no so de esi omgina se sei ena nsem ni na ekowie ye
Agyeiwaa megye di say training we ebeboa ife say journalist ni bi wo ho a ene de ohun ye kra ni obeka say na ebe ye na hwefo Martin nsem we o ene ye nhwe ha na chete Martin nsem bi ko hwehwe mu say ene I'll be the first person to publish na chete menya viewers no ene ho hia no
na ne oni say me TV ya hwefo no eba ne say COVID-19 update ni say ya chete say wo ba bi o mu njindi o brako bi ko piem wo circle aha wo tonton phones na de onya ka say ko bi ya say o sumesi ana obentin enya COVID-19 ya rembi na figures e bi say na no bi pf ya na me ye ntumi fento MATV platform so aba ma hwehwe platform so mi hu so say amate say nkofo ka say yare nipa say na atan nam say ma misima ehwa na de chese me de koto ho no se ha mo de mu kan ya me gidi nse bi wo ho a wo mo bosire mu kan wo meka na chese ntenti se na ya abribia ye hu se update na ye say ansa na ye de ato no sa ene ye hwe ni me de fin centrofo nyina akache
na de twa so the Ghanaian Times one chese back page ho na ye wono na eno na ye de twa to e wo Ghanaian Times so see the minister for roads and highways Mr. Kessewaa last Saturday inspected some roads in the eastern region with a call on contractors to ensure speedy delivery of projects. The tour was to afford the minister first-hand information on ongoing projects under the Ghana Highways Authority and the Department of Urban Roads in the eastern region. Some of the roads inspected included 24.8 kilometers Osiam to Begro Road constructed by General Construction Limited, Suhuma Kessewaa Road by Mundu Construction Limited, Asaman Kessewaa Road, Water and Peel Limited, Asaman Kessewaa Road, not just say roads near the doors to be just say okopie mo ewo.
It's with the back page of Ghanaian Times Kwakratano. I also for her pioneer quantum for insem so ora kwesi amoakwata ene dey wodi insem so your chese won say maybe od betu your chese we your contractor dey ma usika na chese wonye adwuma na ebeyi wudin ye fi mi senti okwa probo ekohwe chese kopie mu apuem antem asama kese ne important ekohwe sa akwanya yese wo munye na wo mo magisika na adwuma no wo mo ye hemfa na o medun pepe so o medun no san pepe so na ese o mu bra na se den se na ebe no man ni ye kwan so nsem nyina ebetumi akoyi
Na just say no kind lazy contractors will not be tolerated. I just say they show sana say media my adwuma kakra menu kum me kwa akoda ne meba ne ochna me mba no just say almost so kra nti wa wo hwe na say obetumi aye adwuma na brana beje na ye no senia ebia ye ma 3 months 6 months bedu ho no aye ne pepepe na no so eno no ahwefo ye kan mo se mo koso na ma messages no embra wo Facebook YouTube na chese social media handles ni na enken kan emma wo dwumedi so ye the Daily Graphic akọ Ghanaian Times so akọ ye ntwa ye ho bese se ye ba de aka bia na beto aso wo dwumedi no so amo.
Are you worried about your security? Are you able to access and protect your property and the people you care about? With an increased height in robbery and kidnapping, you should not compromise on your security. Global Sky Limited, your total security solution, is here to help you secure your office and residence.
Alright, my name is Nesta Lenas. I'm the General Manager of the company Global Sky Security Limited. Global Sky Security Limited, we are an international security company which we specialize in providing security services to various individuals or corporate organizations. When we talk of security systems, namely CCTV, access control device, electrical fence, tracking device, and security man guard officers as well.
The control room is designed in the way that we have radios, a VCR radio there, which monitors our vehicles when they go out for day and night patrols, just to receive first-hand information from supervisors and the team who go out for that patrol.
With the ICT part of the services that we're going to talk about, the CCTV security systems, the access control systems, tracking device systems, biometric door lock systems, and many more. So when we talk about the ICT part, that is the ICT part of the company. We specialize in what I've mentioned earlier. And when you talk about the physical aspect, that has to do with the professional man guard security services. These are professional guards who recruit We do background check on them. We do profiling on them. We actually train them on two things: theory part and the physical part. Theory part for them to know how to work with people, human relations, and also when it comes to the physical part, how to defend them. I mean, to defend themselves in terms of a robbery or an attack. So, long story short, basically, those are the two things that the company provides.
For more information, call 0302 522 503 or 0264 363 125. You can also visit www.globalskyafrica.com. Global Sky, someone is always watching.
Mema wakwaba Edeba Ghana is watching Jumedie so. Ghana is watching Jumedie from Kokra Marvelin House Yashishe near the Babe Somo Asomo Sompa. Ewo Jumedie so yehwe nia ekoyie ene nia enkoyie ewo oman yimu ne yabobo ani nyina no apɛ ano pomesibre. Wo Jumedie so yebehwe ye kwan so ensem aso wo kwan so nsem mpo etesen senia ehyenkafo etwi wana hyem basabasa ewo oman yimu yebesan so ahwe senia yen ahonidie ensem tie ewo wompotem ho sena ahonidie ensem etie ewo ho unim se enkese de biara da yen ahonidie eda nanso sen ena etie wo oman yimu wompotem ho no no ahonidie ho nsem no aso eye hwan asede se obehwe amana akoyie yebesan so ahwe yen bambo ensem sena ye bambo nsem etie ewo oman yimu nipa bonfo adọso amakro no amane homne so ewo oman yimu aso ekwan benso ena yefa esi ano kwan yenam abefo kwan so anase yenam kane kwan so ena yede ba besi ano kwan meto mensafre wona wonim de efa ne amakeke nyina ho ne yatena se apensen insemu ape ano pomesibre. Ghana is watching. Ghana eshe.
Welcome to the Maiden Edition. On this show, we don't only seek to educate, we entertain, we inform, we put a microscope on your celebrities, we delve deep into their sex lives, celebrity weddings, drama, scandals, parties, flourishing lifestyles, the made to believe. Who's making money in the industry and who isn't? Fashion. Who is popular and who is a celebrity? We'll go deeper into the world of our slay queens, the survival of up-and-coming artists, this and many more. I'm Mama Kessewaa, and this is Entertainment Pulse.
For your son, Mama Kwaba, near Kamu, say messages no, Monkoso and Mama Nembra, or Facebook, just a comment section, and where your message not to offer fair for my kind at the amount. Your son, Mama Kwaba, dear Natchez, a daily guide, Monsem no, and I do so, and send your becano, a seminable higher bobos to that, and take a cry a cano, and the debate was so, a daily guide more and mamma. Yes, Shah said you're not pay 6 and a day Shah, so say NDC chairman Trentis. You has VC, or see that autonomy of the University of Health and Allied Science is being strengthened by the National Democratic Congress in the Volta region, led by the regional chairman Henry Ametefi. The chairman, in what many have described as the disastrous rant, warned the Vice Chancellor of UWAS, Professor John Owusu Japan, to be careful of his conduct at the university because he is on the land of Votarians. na chese no so eno no
na chese we NDC dwam training na ne dey chese wode wobo kokopa chese you has BC na wobo no kokko esa ne nieme a woye no kire bia ntwe ye koba nsan chese ase woye afa chese se wohwe ne niema yie pipa ye na ne ya krata ne farm etoso miensa honom no aha yenkan eno tiwiti was I will help Nana get re-elected
ba no aha nti yemfa page 3 hono enka homam da see the desire of President Dankwa Akufo-Addo to his mandate renowned on December 7 to enable him to complete the works he has commenced has been given a massive boost. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who has once again been nominated as President Dankwa Akufo-Addo's running mate on a ticket of the New Patriotic Party for the December general election, has vowed to give off his best to help his boss retain political power. I just say the boss. I say no more about the boss.
Delegate ko akata ni fa etoso miensa Ghana mampani abedi echire ma wood ba me wo de nsema to bia wo kire se apa on se running mate ni de ono so wo bebo ne humodin ye papa pa ne se wo ye bia wo be se me be na afimpinu ni edunu abaton Ghana mampani na Dankwa Akufo-Addo ya be san apa on se wo mampani e wo oman Ghana mu hate.
Na yeto asem ne so dia page 8 no na chese entertainment kakra wo ho no arehosem so wo ho de na chese Agyeiwaa Wood actor ya Bishop Bernard Nyako an ni wo hu sense. O see the remains of the late Wood actor Bishop Bernard Nyako was laid to rest on Saturday at Obosomase in the Eastern region. Prior to that was his funeral ceremony, which took place at the Lakeside Estate, a suburb of Accra. The funeral ceremony was attended by a number of Wood actors, fans, friends, and family who gathered to pay their respect to the actor.
Yanti ko akata ni fa etoso watche no Wood actor Bishop Bernard Nyako se ne oto anana no nse do be ye awerefo bibre wo man Ghana se se de wo makra na chikura kra wo Obosomase a wo equipment se bri ho no mo side kra na wo makra na chi na ho no wona wo yisini ni bibre na ekoja na cheso mkokra na chikura Christian Ewuni Bella Samoa Calibos Kwadjon Cancer Gloria Safo Abnaga na mli aburo betese ekwakum enum nyina eko tai chese dwumedi na chiame yakra Bishop echikwakra wo man Ghana ma
na nsem na ede to aso e page 8 no say it's been held. Peter of P Square recounts COVID-19 experience. Nigerian musician Peter Okoye and his family tested positive for the COVID-19 but recovered after treatment for 3 weeks. The former member of the defunct P Square made this known via an Instagram video over the weekend. The former member of the defunct P Square made this known in an interview. According to him, he tested positive, then his daughter, and subsequently his wife, Lola, who may not stay away from their daughter. He described the experience as hell and cautioned everyone that COVID-19 is real. No, because it's real.
Perfect. Nti kwata en peto so watch no ehwa na yegusu ejina na akopie mbo Nigeria nyum tuni acheto ono Peter Okoye di nsema tibia watch say COVID-19 ya re no enye easy protrem dia ebi ekire na nche na ne bounce test positive and ho kani enso e test positive na watch me ensntem no wo mo ho ato ma chese yare no wo manya yaresa efimti no so nsem no be pie ma watch say COVID-19 enye easy back say
nti we dey chese omo nji ndi no obi anya COVID-19 bi opa chese rule o chese enye de mode di agro yi bi kura chese wo ho ankasa na chese no so no na de twa so page 14 of Daily Guide or say the National Executive Council neck of the Musician Union of Ghana Musica has confirmed that it has called off its election for national executive officers scheduled for June 24. According to NEC, the decision was taken during an emergency meeting on the NEC, adding that its decision by the NEC to call off the election is due to a number of reasons.
International say we musica which is on my battle ananka esese ekoso no eno muchiem de na die wo matu e de asheda na yensen bebi nti akaka ne COVID-19 yare I send you say social distancing ya de esese ekoso no wan hwe ya na achese ntimi ankoba ne sa ne senti no wo matu e de asheda
omotu e de asheda na chese yenkai say di date foforo ebeba chese de be ya abato no pa ewo ho na ye kai mo say Global Sky Security any Leonard's Homes Construction Company papa na so ya seme di twebedie ebe somo anopa bia je say nana ya Kessewaa mini Agyeiwaa ye de be somo no na mo messages bi so aba ewo Facebook ne be kenkan ama na afide twemedie ndie wo bia ye de ato aso Agyeiwaa
messages na aba we Kwame Boache was say I'm watching you live MATV aba and Nana good morning Sansa and I said to her possible see great work ladies excellent performance and yes Sansa kai mo say see MATV your Marveling House no wo ho na so ye dwumade na ye streaming the live ni na na de ye MATV and na ebinu ye obekọ Marveling House so be search ni ade no we unya bo MH na the TV no asos na kire say edemu dwumade nyina ubenya bi ahwo hafen so no esan say ya fe na MATV de na ba na ye nhwumo Marveling House ntia ya ene wa follow yen se na abibia ye dwumade nyina ubenya bi o sanso na abe fontentan fide so www.marvelinghouse.com ubenya ni nyina bi ewo ho no
ebusiafo ebeda masese munya abre na enna no pen so mo hweye I money break no sa say Charles the bibe so me amakoso mo so e the bibe so ye na afi so nana ya Kessewaa mini Agyeiwaa so the newspaper review no ebe so mo ye kan mo say ebo 5 o'clock e no numa ye de kase ebo no so eba be so mo kwanson for kwanti kwaso na hwe MATV na ewo ho bia na ye beto aso e de amamo yakra mo